Long ago, when the world was bright and full of stories, an evil wizard gained the power to touch the face of God. Narrativa, goddess of stories and weaver of our world, banished him to the void, but not before he stole a piece of her divine essence. With this newfound power, the wizard lay a dread curse upon all the world, the Glyph Purge, which struck from the minds of all mortals the knowledge of how to read and write. Now, all that stand between the Isle of Meotia and an age of endless ignorance are the bards, who tell stories of distant lands, exotic creatures, and brave heroes. This is one such tale.
Hello and welcome to the latest and greatest Dungeons & Dragons podcast to hit the internet airwaves. Challenge rating 0. I am Sam, your Dungeon Master, and I am joined, as always, by my longtime friends and adventuring companions.
Hello, I am Brian, and I play Hector the Gatekeeper.
Hey, I'm Beth, and I play Rilla Longshadow.
And last but not least, we have the man who calls himself Michael, but who we call Parker. Michael Parker, playing the druid Zurabak. Say hi, Parker.
Hi, Parker.
Fan-fucking-tastic. So, when last we left our heroes, Hector, Rilla, and Zurabak had some thrills, chills, and spills in the mountain range known as the Gates after surviving a terrible avalanche. Zurabak rescued an entire flock of gatekeeper goats who helped him battle through a horde of Grimlocks before he won them their freedom. Rilla and Hector battled the chieftain of the tribe of Grimlocks responsible for this avalanche and learned of a sinister group or presence known as the Hidden Ones that have assisted the Grimlocks in gaining some fell, dark magic in return for causing the avalanche in the first place.
I know likey.
Yeah, it seems bad. Some footprints in the snow. You also had a lovely snowball fight with your companions, the halfling merchants you're traveling with, the Chiltopol clan, and you made your way after some aggressive modifications to Sebastian's Wagon of Wonders across the snowy peaks of the gate, and finally, painstakingly found yourselves staring down the sharp incline at the other end of the gate, the northern side of it, leading down into the desert known as the Raging Sands. So, we begin our tale with you all on the road north. You are descending rapidly from the jagged, snow-capped peaks of the mountain range known as the Gate, heading to the lowlands. The weather is getting surprisingly warm, surprisingly quickly. There are blasts of hot air assailing you as you get lower and lower, passing crags and just piles of broken stone, tumbled boulders, and eventually the mountains give way.
Crags and rocks. And
Crags and rocks, yes.
Josh and Toby, whatever. Yeah.
Wait, what? Was that a I can't remember the fucking show name. Josh and Toby, are you referencing the West Wing?
I think I am doing that without thinking of doing it. So thanks, Sam, for recommending the West Wing. Because it's just in my brain now.
Beth started watching the West Wing, and I love the show, and she's about it, but she's watching a lot of it.
I watched 7 seasons of it, so like all of it, during my maternity leave. So it's just in my brain now. Sorry.
Well, I hope. I mean, no,
I wonder when
great.
the child's going to start watching it.
No, because your beautiful baby Eloise is going to start quoting President Bartlett, and that's the best shit ever. That's amazing.
I mean, that's if I watch it again, unless I've got it so deep in her 2-month-old psyche at this point.
Oh yeah, man,
that comes out.
That lodges. That show lodges deep in there. You got yourself another Josh. Yeah, your least favorite. Yeah,
he's terrible.
That's on you.
He's so terrible.
Anyway, Josh loves Donna. Anyway, this is not a West Wing fan cast. Despite all appearances.
Today.
Not today. Yeah, that'll be coming out next week. So, what was I saying? Yeah, you're making your way through some crags and rocks, and Drake and Josh, or whatever the fuck Beth said earlier, and you find yourselves at long last at the edge of this sprawling desert, the Raging Sands. Now, this is an enormous swath of brutally hot, like a desert wasteland. It's called the Raging Sands because of the horrific sandstorms that constantly make their way across it back and forth. You actually cannot see too terribly far across this sweeping vista because of the giant clouds of the giant funnel clouds of sand swirling all around. But at the end of a long, hard day of travel, as you are descending the mountains and getting into these lower foothills covered with low scrub brush and tumbleweeds, you find a nice place to make camp. How well do we find a place to make camp? Adventurers, let's get some survival checks going.
Well,
Okay, pretty well.
Yeah. 25.
I'm not even gonna try.
That's cool. No, Rilla's sitting this one out.
whatever
It's all
18
good.
plus 8 is.
Do the math,
26.
Parker. Don't do
26.
it for him.
No, it's good. We got to get the quick math. I don't want to cut out the long pauses of the gear grinding that is required for the numbers to come out
So
of
that's
Parker's mouth.
51. We got a 51 on our survival.
Right, you add them together. Listeners at home, that's how it works. You add them all together, all the numbers.
Don't lie to these people we don't know.
That's a very good point. Well, we know some of them.
Well, you can lie to those.
Okay.
Or should we lie more? We don't know them.
Fair.
So you roll very good on your survival checks.
Yeah.
And you find an amazing, amazing place to camp. You actually find the beginnings of a small mesa that you are able to sort of wedge yourself in the corner of to alleviate some of the blowing grit and sand that is whipped up by even these far distant sandstorms. And you set up your tents if you have tents and lay out your bedrolls if you had bedrolls, or just sit your ass on the dirt, Zuraback. And that was aggressive. I apologize. There was no need for that. Yeah.
I just set my ass in the dirt.
I didn't mean to play your character. I apologize. But yeah.
I mean, I feel like Zuraback probably sits his ass in the dirt pretty aggressively, so I think it warrants
Just
it.
plop down constantly.
this dirt's going to fucking remember.
It's a solid plop.
King of the Shocker Lizards.
Just let those legs give out.
Yeah, so you all find a solid place to camp wedged up against the low rock wall of this mesa you find, and the hilltop will circle their wagons. You have a couple days ago refitted Sebastian's Wagon of Wonders with the wheels that originally go on it. They're a bit wobbly due to the aggressive nature with which you disrobed them previously.
Every time I see them wobble, Zurback chuckles.
And Sebastian, a little bit every time. But yeah, so you guys make camp, start a fire. And Sebastian joins you all in a small circle around the cook fire. The Hilltopple clan, the group of merchants, the 5 wagons pulled by teams of dogs that are accompanying you, kind of have their own separate camp, but Inga walks over to you all as well and sits next to Sebastian as you all sit around this cook fire you got going. Sebastian says, well, very, very good to be out of the mountains, and now all we have to do is cross this wide, dry, storm-riddled desert. I'm starting to think that everything outside of Everspring, the sprawling, beautiful, safe metropolis where I live, is horrible. I'm starting to think that just every place on this entire island is designed to kill specifically me.
I mean, my village is fine.
Your village shrouded behind the ancient
Yeah.
illusion magic
It's
with
quite-
all of
it's
the
quite
fake
beautiful.
creatures.
Yeah.
Beautiful indeed.
I, for one, am very excited to traverse this long, flat, hot, dry. I miss home.
Well, don't worry, Hector. I'm sure those mountains will be in our horizon for quite a long time. They're very large, even here. Yes. Well, at least I've got wheels back on the old Wagon of Wonders. Squeaky, wobbly wheels. Yes. Yes, quite. Well, I thought it'd be nice if we just if we took a moment to sort of to reassess and sort of share notes on what we've seen so far. Something's been bothering me ever since we left the swamp, and now that we've gone through the gate and seen the horrors going on in the high pass there, it seems that a pattern might be forming. It seems there are forces at work trying desperately hard to separate out the various settlements here on the island. I didn't realize that the forces arrayed against us had reached this far south or were so active. Do you all have any thoughts on the matter?
No.
Quite right.
My home is in trouble. We did not find the perpetrators, and we don't know that they are stopped from any further action. That's my thoughts.
It was pretty terrifying when an invisible something ran past me. Would like to know what that is at some point.
I would like to kill that.
Yeah, I would be down for that.
Like tomorrow. We should turn around.
For all we know, is just following us or is like sitting 10 feet away constantly.
I honestly hope it's following us. It's destroying my home.
Rilla, I will say I had not considered that horrifying possibility. And Sebastian like hunches up his shoulders like, okay, well, good luck sleeping tonight, Sebastian. Well, okay, I suppose we'll have to be extra cautious. Inga chimes in. Actually, that should not be a problem. Our hounds are very well trained and can track by scent any creature, no matter how magic, that gets too close will spark the braying of our hounds. I think we shall be fine.
Yes, my dog is also good.
Book is on his back, like, digging himself backwards into a pile of sand with his head, like, his tongue lolled open.
Adorable.
As you can see, my hound uses more than just his sense of smell and hearing. He is feeling for tremors. Much smarter than your dogs.
Rutherford can do that too. He just doesn't want to because he's too cool. That's all.
Yeah, no, our pets are really the best pets.
Yes, of course.
Snake's a snake.
You leave Snake out of
Oh
this.
man, Snake's gotta be so happy, right? Or is he not the right kind of snake for this weather?
Snake's in a bag.
Yes, your pets all seem very capable and terrifying and terribly useful. Yes, of course. Well, for my 2 cents, Hector, I'm very aware of the plight of your clan, and I understand you wanting to rush to their rescue, but I'm sure there are even bigger fish to fry. Sebastian says, yes, that's quite right. We do have the, and he, like, looks to either side suspiciously and then cups his hand over his mouth. The Stricken's Grimoire to consider. Actually, that makes me think. And Sebastian pulls out his backpack and reaches both arms all the way in, all the way up to his shoulders, and, like, grabs something and painstakingly pulls out, over the course of, like, 20 seconds, this gigantic book, the Grimoire of the Stricken, this enormous iron-bound tome that you rescued from the lair of Gator in the Briar Marsh. He pulls it out of his bag, and it is just as you remembered it, this enormous book, like nearly the size of Sebastian. It is bound in black iron. It has these jet black pages, and there's 3 giant rubies along the back of it, along its spine, I should say. And he just holds it out. There's this very wicked-looking metal clasp on it that seems to be keeping it shut. He says, the importance of this book cannot be overstated. Getting this to the college in Everspring will bring us one step closer to fixing all of this. And once that's done, we'll have plenty of time to come back here like a white knight and cleanse your homeland of all the invisible assassins. that are that may be plaguing it. So that, yes, but believe me, Hector, when I tell you that this could be the key to everything. I mean, we may not be able to read it, but or open it. I may have tried to jimmy the lock once or twice. No, it's a no-go, as they say. But there is knowledge in here that I think will help us. But yeah, I guess
Or you got the wrong book.
Zurabak, that thought hadn't crossed my mind. Oh, heavens. I hope, if we got all the way back, if it's a copy, or if... I feel faint. I'm gonna go to my tent.
My work here is done.
Indeed it is. Sebastian gets a little pale and takes the grimoire in his backpack and pops off into his tent. You see a small lantern flare up, and you just see the shadow of him hunched over this book with what looks like some thieves' tools, just trying desperately to pick the lock. Which leaves you with Inga at this cook fire. Inga looks at you all and says, "Well, perhaps this is a good time for us to get more acquainted. You all seem like rather interesting types. We haven't had too much opportunity to speak over the course of our travels so far. I'm curious, heroes such as yourselves, capable warriors, spellcasters, why do you follow the musician? Do you believe that this book is as important as he says, that it belongs to the stricken himself?"
If I did not believe that, I would not have left the mountains at all.
No, you have a lot of faith in Sebastian, then.
I have to.
It seemed pretty evil, and also it, burned his stick when we picked it up. It's definitely magical, but I don't know how useful a book is anyway.
Yes, that had crossed my mind as well. I've heard great tales of the lore masters at the college and how they can pull ancient secrets from artifacts, but I suppose I'm a bit skeptical myself. Though, of course, I have that luxury. I'm not in the employ of a bard of Everspring.
Wait, is he paying us? Are we
He
employed?
is not.
We're not employed then. No.
No, we are not paid mercenaries. We are heroes with a higher calling.
I'm just looking for my aunt, and it was a convenient way out of the spring. So I don't know that in the employ is the appropriate term for me personally. Maybe for Hector.
So
I am also not. We are heroes
Okay.
with a higher calling.
Yes.
So a ragtag group of chosen champions who will save the world from the glyph purge, yes?
It's the perfect story.
A good beginning to one, for sure. I look at all of you and I see many interesting things. My family travels all over the island. We know every nook and cranny of Miosha, well, every nook and cranny that needs to buy or sell something. I've come across many interesting things in my travels. A group such as yourself is not something I'm accustomed to seeing. There is a shortage in the land of heroes willing to try and fix the world. As you can see from the plight we experience going through the gate, there are many evil forces that wish to do harm to the innocents that live on this island. It's been quite a while since I've heard the tale of anyone trying to fix things. Many have given up hope completely. It makes me curious. There's a tradition amongst the Hilltopples, a few secrets passed down generation to generation, as all secrets must be now in this world we find ourselves in. I wonder if you all would like to play cards. And Inga reaches into one of the sleeves of her dress and pulls out a perfect halfling-size deck of cards. I'm sure, Hector, you're, in your clan, you've probably played your fair share of card games at a feast hall or a tavern. Rilla, do you have any experience with playing cards? Zurbak, I'm going to say it's a hard no, unless
More than likely.
you a card shark. Can you wild shape into a card
I
shark?
was like, have you played cards with a shark?
Swamp shark.
That I can't say for sure. I don't know how many swamps hold sharks.
I mean, you got gator skin boots.
You, of
If
all
that's
people,
not a
should
high
know that.
roller.
You should. But I mean, considering that sharks swim up the Mississippi, I'm thinking you could probably encounter a couple in your lifetime. Maybe.
Swamp sharks.
Probably ate one.
They seem chewy. You know?
Yeah.
This is a very special card game. My grandmother taught me this. It's not so much playing for money or against each other. I'm curious to see your fate. She pulls out this deck of cards and she flips them over and shows them to you. And there are no normal suits like you'd normally see, like like skulls and crosses, the kind of shit you'd see, on a playing cards that you're familiar with. These have pictures on them, elaborate, well-painted pictures. You can tell there are some glyphs and symbols on them that are obviously words, but can't make sense of them, heads or tails. But she shows them all to you and then starts shuffling. Each of you will get a card that will give us some insight into your future. My daughters laugh at me every time I do this. They think it's a silly superstition. But I've found that the cards, well, they rarely lie. Any interest?
No.
Oh, Zorabak, my dear, that makes you first. Congratulations. She hands out this deck of cards. Draw one from the top, if you will.
No.
Well, I'll just have to draw for you then.
Zurbak squints real hard at her.
She takes her tiny halfling hand and pulls a card. Interesting. The words on these cards used to inform you what they were. Obviously, we cannot make sense of them, but my family has spent quite a long time with these. We're able to interpret just a bit, if only from the pictures. Zorabak, you have drawn the Four of Wands. 4 large sticks.
I got a stick.
Yes. Well, it seems
I don't need any more.
It seems oddly suited to you. So, let's see. 4 large sticks, all holding a abundance of plants, vegetables, and fruit, with 2 celebrants joyously standing underneath them. Quite a lovely juxtaposition, would you not say?
Wasteful.
There could be great bounty and fortune in your future. Interesting.
Don't care.
Well, that's the great thing about fate. You do not have to care or even acknowledge for it to affect you. Let's see, who's next? Rilla. Would you like to draw?
Sure.
She hands you a deck of cards.
One you said?
Indeed.
Ooh.
Well. Oof. This is interesting. Not the brightest of cards. This one depicts a rider in black armor, reduced to a skeleton. He rides a white horse over a field of dead things. The death card. Fascinating. This could mean a momentous occasion.
Hector scoots a couple of inches away from Rilla.
Yes, it would seem that...
Zurbak scoots a couple of inches closer to Rilla.
Don't eat my corpse.
Yes, rather...
No guarantees.
Rather interesting. I would not have thought that one for you. You'll have to keep your eyes open for dangers in the future. Death lies in your path. Interesting. And finally, Hector, the gatekeeper, keeper of the gates. It is your turn to draw.
I'm the best at cards.
Don't worry, I already got death. You should be fine.
What about double death?
Or even the
I don't like this one. Can I draw again?
Oh, another grim omen. How strange that only Zurbak would get a card producing bounty, abundance, and joy. Rather against your brand, one might say. Hector, you have drawn the 10 of Swords. This depicts 10 sharp, tall swords, all point down, resting in the back of a man who lies...
A muscular blonde man.
Who lies upon the ground with a red tapestry thrown over him. Oof. This is also an ill omen.
Don't like this game.
I do. Who next dies?
Well, this is very interesting. I shall have to think on these.
What's yours? If you made us all draw.
Oh. Alright. I did say we were going to play cards. If you would have me draw, then perhaps I'm overdue to see my fate. We have a long and arduous journey in front of us if we are going to be traveling together all the way to the Ever Spring. Let's see what fate has in store for Inga Giltoppel. Perhaps I'll need to get these cards checked. Not wonderful, though certainly not as grim as you two. Poor, doomed souls. Just a little joke there. I'm sure it's fine. They're metaphors, right? I've
For dying.
drawn the 8 of Swords. This card depicts 8 swords, all point down, much like Hector's card, but it shows in the middle a woman bound and blindfolded, alone amongst this forest of downturned blades. Very interesting. Perhaps our paths are intertwined more than we know.
I don't like this game. How come only Zurabak get... He doesn't even like nice things.
Well, I did not promise that they would be fitting, only that they might shed some light onto the path before you.
I like this game.
I thought you might, after all, Zurabak. Well, forgive me if I've brought down your spirits. Trust me, there are few like you three in the world. I've seen much of it. Those with your power, your dedication, and your skill sets are few and far between. I'm sure that no matter what springs up in your path, be it a forest of razor-sharp blades, death itself, or even the horrible scourge of joy and abundance, you will all make it through unscathed. Funny how each of you got exactly what you did not want. Well, in either case, I will leave you now. My children are fighting each other again, and I must pull them apart. Helga, Olga! That's enough! Forgive me. Good night. And she wanders off.
My mother says not to take too much stock in fortune tellers. They're mostly swindlers. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
So with this lovely unsettling turn of events, these cards that you've all pulled, which are supposed to reflect your fate, you all find yourself with some time on your hands before the sun fully sets and the night is over, and you all suddenly find yourselves possessed by a strange sensation. A warm glow covers all of you. Your muscles bulge and your minds blossom, and you all level up. So,
Can you... That's not... It's like... What, like... Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, it was something.
it's time to level up, y'all. I think that's what I did last time. Is that good? Woo! You all get to level up.
Yay.
We could do a couple runs of these. Anything else you want? Level up time. Engage. Level up.
Do Morrowind.
Oh, God. Do more.
Do you remember it?
No. Like, it'd be like you all sleep and it's like the path behind you is nothing. You realize upon waking that all of life's challenges have been nothing but dreams thrown in your past. The future is yours to grasp.
Yeah, that's
Something
about
like
the
that.
gist of it. That was pretty good.
Yep,
That's what
yep.
Oblivion does too. 'Cause that's the one I started on.
Yeah, Oblivion does it too. Sadly, they don't do it in Skyrim.
Yeah.
You have unspent points. Click here to level up.
You can attribute. No, but so you are all going to level up. We are going to give you all 2 levels. You are all going to gain 2 levels, becoming level 4 characters.
Whoa.
I'm getting 2 levels at once here because you have done such a good job adventuring. Since the last time you leveled up, you have not only gone through the lair of the gator, but you've also gone through the gate, had a couple fights, met some folks, had a lot of experiences, and yeah, now that we're on the outskirts of this raging sands desert, we're going to level you all up. So, we can just go ahead and do this down the line. Word of warning to those who don't care about stats. And if you don't care about stats, why are you listening to this show?
For the story.
Oh, well, yeah.
For our charming personalities.
If you don't care about stats, thank you for listening to the show. But you can skip forward. All right, so we have leveled up our characters. Our 3 protagonists, our brave adventurers, have finally reached level 4. We have, they've all been imbued with incredible powers and abilities. And, yeah, so just to review real quick, Hector the Gatekeeper, Keeper of the Gates, you are now a level 4 barbarian, correct?
Correct.
And you have now the ability to rage twice a day instead of just once.
Correct.
You've got Trap Sense, which gives you special resistances to traps that you set off and might be subject to the effects of.
Yes.
You've got way more health points and you're way better at hitting stuff, right?
Yes.
You also got a feat, which is I think the icing on the cake here.
Yeah, great cleave.
So what Great Cleave lets you do is if you knock someone down with your weapon, you can get a free hit on the person next to them, and then if you knock them down, you just get another free hit on the next
you
person.
get unlimited of those. So there's cleave, which, yeah, if you take one down, you can continue that attack on to another adjacent enemy.
So knock it
but
around. You take one down, you knock it around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
98 Grimlocks on the wall. I don't know.
And then now with Great Cleave, I can just do that forever as long as there's still adjacent enemies.
And as long as you're knocking fools down.
Yes.
Fantastic.
I can, if I get surrounded by fodder, I can take them all out in one round.
So you're sweeping decks with that big ass hammer of yours.
Yes.
Excellent. Nicely done. Rilla
Bashing skulls.
Long Shadow, you've also leveled up to level 4. You're now level 4 sorceress. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Fantastic. So you got some new spells, and what are those spells?
Let me go back to my spell page.
Yep.
Okay. I added the 0 level spell Touch of Fatigue
Ooh, what is
for
that? do?
Rutherford, so that he can go up and touch people and fatigue them, like the name implies.
Great.
My first level spell, I added Magic Missile, because you gotta.
Fantastic. That is some straight up meat and potatoes spell casting. So now you, our magical archer, has magic arrows of force. Fantastic.
And then my second level spell is Alter Self, which is just perfect for Rilla.
So that's light level shapeshifting, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So with Alter Self, you gain the ability to change your shape, change your size, limited amount. You can become all sorts of different kinds of humanoids.
What elf
Yeah.
is the new thing I can say.
Fantastic. Great for blending into the crowd or getting away from those terrible stares of all the people around you. Fantastic.
Yes.
And that's not like an illusion. You're actually like physically changing your form.
Yeah. For 10 minutes a level. So 40 minutes right now.
Nice.
It'll be fun.
The illusion one is disguise self.
Yep. And so
it also gives you a plus 10 on disguise checks.
Ooh, excellent.
If you're like using, obviously, that new face as your
Fantastic.
disguise.
Great. So you got some more arcane power. You got, I think, some more spell slots, some very interesting spells, including some blasty ones, some utility ones. Your familiar is more powerful, more intelligent, and can deliver touch spells.
Yep.
And you got a feat as well, right?
Yes.
What'd you go with?
I got precise shot, so now when I shoot into the chaos of battle, I don't need a -4 on my attacks.
Fantastic.
So I am better at not hitting my friends.
So you have pinpoint accuracy when attacking combatants involved in melee.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Cool. And that brings us to Zurabak, King of the Shocker Lizards.
Champion of the goats.
Champion of the Goats. Just adding honorifics left and right. Zurabak, you are now a level 4 druid.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Level 4 druid, and you've gotten trackless step, if I remember, so that you can choose not to leave a trace of your passing in natural terrain. And you've also gotten what else?
Resist nature's lure.
Resist nature's lure, so that the fae and other nature creatures that try to assail your senses, you have extra resistance to that. And you also get access to level 2 spells, correct?
Yeah.
Which would be things like, since you are a divine caster, you get to pick from the whole list, but for our listeners' benefit, things that could include stuff like bark skin, flaming sphere, bull strength, things like that. But knowing Zurabak, he'll be taking a different course. And also, your animal companion has grown?
Yeah, he got fat.
He got fat. So Snake, which was a tiny viper, is now a large viper?
I think it was small viper.
He was a small viper, now he's a large viper. So now your your viper is now bigger technically than anyone in your party. It is a large creature, right? It takes up
All the more to eat Sebastian.
fantastic. Oh my, perfect size for that now, huh? 2 size categories larger. That's amazing. That guy's not a constrictor. Cool. So our party has leveled up as you all sat at the campfire. Just really going over these horrible omens you got from these cards that Inga drew for you folks, that you drew from her. And you all head to bed. The watch is set. You guys hunker down to go to sleep. Rilla plays some Jenga, I assume. Unless you have some other means to pass the night away.
Gotta buy a deck of cards.
Yeah, still got that Jenga set. You can.
It's just so loud. I feel bad.
Sure.
You know?
Well, I'm sure if you wanted to play some cards, you could head over to the Hilltopples camp.
Yeah, not tonight though.
Okay. Still a little weirded out. It's pretty grim dark over there. Cool. So, yeah, you guys go to sleep. And you wake up the next day, and boy, is it a hot one. Like 7 inches from the morning sun. It is oppressively hot. This is heat that... and it's Zurabak, you're used to hot environments. You live in a swamp. You're used to the sweat being like drawn from your body. What you're not used to is the sweat being drawn from your body and then having it immediately evaporate into the wind instantly. This is dry heat. It is intense and oppressive. There is no clouds in the sky. And the sun beats down on all of you the second that it rises. You can see as you break down the camp, laid out before you, the bits of the raging sands that you can see through the dust devils swirling around all over the place. And you guys start on your merry way into the desert. As you go forward, Inga, always looking to make a buck, approaches all of you and says, pardon me, my friends. These are rather stressful environments. The climate here is very hot, very dry. If there are any precautions you'd wish to take to defend yourself against the environment, we are more than willing to do some trade. There are going to be some challenges with how hot it gets in this desert. If anybody wants to buy any equipment or gear to help cope with it, I believe that, Hector, once again, your magic boots mean that you are totally fine because you have Endure Elements in those magical boots, which makes you totally fine. Zurabak, you taking any steps to protect yourself from the weather?
I can roll a survival check to give a bonus.
Cool.
How nice for you guys with your survival checks and magic.
No, it's fine. You can. We'll just say goodbye. Desert outfit. We'll
Yep.
give you some bonuses.
Cool.
So Rilla, you would like a outfit to fit the climate here?
Yeah, I'm just gonna have so many outfits by the time this is done, huh?
Well, yes, I'm making a rather lovely profit off of you. I appreciate
Yay! That's so great.
Also, I
Better
predict the
collect it
weather.
before I die, right?
that. Mutually beneficial. Look, death lies in all of our paths. Perhaps it looms larger in yours.
I put on a coat.
Do you want my fox fur?
No.
It's got
so
super cute ears on it.
Yeah.
It's very adorable. But no, I mean, it's still super sunny.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get that tan going. So I pop my top off.
There. Okay, fully shirtless.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I predict the weather for the next 4 days.
Hot. hot, dry desert.
I share that with Sebastian of how hot and dry and awful it'll be. And how much bigger Snake has, and I just sort of wrap him up in Snake.
You attempt to wrap him up in Snake, but he jumps 5 feet into the air and then clambers on top of his wagon of wonders. He also gets out a parasol, a silk parasol and a silk fan, and holds a parasol over his head and fans himself like a little gentleman.
You have to sleep sometime.
And I'll sleep by Hector. Probably from now on, yes? Or locked up in my wagon of wonders.
That's the one I'd go with.
Ah, yes, that actually that reminds me. Yes, a desert outfit for Rilla. That's lovely. What are you doing for the dogs? It's very hot weather. What are you doing for your dogs, Inga Hilltopple?
We have...
Who I'm speaking to?
Well, our hounds are incredibly well-trained, well-bred over generations to excel in any climate, but specifically for your question, we will travel in the shadows where we can find them, and we have special harnesses that we pour water into. They have small holes that will hydrate our hounds as we move through the desert. We take very special care of our hounds. Would you like...
So just water. Gotcha. All right. I walk away.
Special custom crafted time release water harnesses, yes. If you'd like to splash your dog from your water skin every 5 minutes,
what the fuck I do.
feel free. I'm sure that will not immediately evaporate, leaving both of you without water. Have fun. Rilla, I believe we were having a conversation. You, again, I have for you something I think you'd rather like.
Oh, yeah?
She pulls out a bunch of bolts of silk. These beautiful, light, airy robes designed to, like, throw off the sun. One's jet black. One is this beautiful, like, canary yellow. Mm-hmm. And one is, we'll say, purple. It's got a nice purple hue to it. These desert garbs are something the Bedouins native to this landscape informed us about. They are light, they breathe, and they throw off the worst of the sun's rays. Would you like?
How much?
1 gold piece should suffice. We're friends after all.
Then I want the canary yellow one, and can we make one for Brother Fur? Because that would be adorable. You might hate it, but he's very furry, is my concern.
As soon as you say that, Inga kind of like stands still, just stops mid-sentence, and she like kind of puts her hands down and slumps her shoulders and looks off in the middle distance and says, "My dear, we absolutely have to do this right now. Yes. Everyone stop. Stop. Everyone stop immediately. Boris, get the cloth. Get the shears. Boris, quickly now. There's no time to waste. Forgive me. Boris!"
Rilla, are you sure you don't want me just to throw some water on your cat every once in a while?
This is cuter.
Okay, I need to ask you a question right now. Mm-hmm. because in my head, I'm thinking like a tutu situation. Now, is that too whimsical? What are you thinking? Are we just talking like cat sweater? It's like a silk cat sweater?
I'm thinking a very grumpy cat.
Oh, absolutely.
No, sure.
Well,
he hates it.
He hates it, but he'll wear it because he has to.
Because you make him.
Or he'll die, you know.
See, I imagine like some weird like cloak thing almost.
Oh,
like,
fantastic. A
yeah.
hooded cat cloak?
Yeah.
Yes!
Why are you trying to hug his fur closer to his body? He's gonna die.
But it's special fabric.
It's
that helps
special
you.
fabric made to throw off the worst of sun. We're in a fantasy world. Listeners, you should see the look Brian's giving me right now. I do not appreciate it. You, so yeah, really, in exchange for your 1 gold piece.
Probably. So's Book.
Book is not going to die.
In exchange for your 1 gold
Horrifically,
piece,
probably.
you
I
are
might die
given this beautiful canary
first,
yellow.
because I give him
Stop
one
cross talking. There's microphones. Shit. Rilla, you are given this beautiful canary yellow set of desert robes, and another smaller set is cut perfectly to Rutherford's exact
we match.
body type. You absolutely match.
Same colors.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. They are flowing, wonderful robes that cover you like head to toe. But as soon as you put them on, you can tell the heat is less intense. It's crazy.
Awesome.
So you guys start on your first day in the actual sands. The shifting dunes moving almost in front of your eyes as you make your way through this desert. And you're only a few hours to this first day in the Raging Sands proper when you see a silhouette at the top of a distant dune. It looks like a man on a horse. Man or a woman, some figure on horseback standing on the top of the dune, stock still. It seems like staring at you. You see there's a glint of some reflective material from them, and they just sort of stand there for a while looking as you guys make your way past. Yeah, what would you guys like to do anything about that?
So like
Parallel to your path, about 200 feet away, silhouetted on a far dune, you see a figure that looks like a person on horseback.
staring at us.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, I do what I do always. Stare back.
fantastic. You stare back. It's very intimidating and very good.
I pull out one of my throwing axes and just hold it at my side.
Okay. Like
And-
down low.
Yeah, I'm not like holding
Sure.
it up,
Yeah.
threatening them. I'm just like, if some shit
Right,
goes
right.
down, it's in my hand.
Hey, guess what? Message has a range of 100 feet plus 10 feet per level.
Dope. Do you did you want to try to get a little closer and cast message?
Yeah.
Okay, dope. Cool. So Rilla, you hop down from the wagon, Sebastian's wagon, and just head a little bit closer to this dune. And you point your finger, and what is your message?
Go the fuck away. Quit staring.
What do you message?
Trying to think of a good way to phrase this. I don't want to start a fight necessarily.
Go fuck yourself.
No, see,
Politely.
politely. Please.
Pardon
Please
me, sir, but would you mind to just go fuck yourself? Just please, though. Sir. Pretty
Sir,
please.
would you kindly go fuck yourself?
I'm gonna go with. Does there seem to be any trouble?
Excellent. So you wander out near just canary yellow robes, taking a few steps through the sands, and you point your finger at this figure on horseback on this dune, and you weave a couple simple incantations and cast your cantrip message, and you whisper. And no one around you can hear, but this figure starts a little bit. You can see, cocks its head to the side.
I wave.
Yeah. And you see the glint, the weird glint that you saw from it shifts, and you can see this person's holding what looks like a weird tube that collapses as they slam it shut. He's holding it up to his face, puts it in a pack, and you hear a voice in a whisper say, "Well, I'm just relieved to see civilized folk.
Awesome. It's good, guys. You can put your weapons away.
I don't.
No, it's fine. So yeah, you hear that message, and then this person puts this weird tube thing away in their pack, and then starts galloping down the dune towards you. They put their hands up, and as they get closer, you can see that this figure seems like an excellent rider. They seem like they're really incredibly proficient in horsemanship. They don't, miss a beat. They look like they're one with their horse. And as they get closer to you and top the closest dune, about 40 feet away from your wagon train, you see that they are one with their horse. You're looking at a centaur.
Awesome.
You see a man with dusky brown skin, clean shaven, with about shoulder length hair and a wide brim hat, wearing a vest and like a long sleeve shirt, and a whole network of harnesses and pouches and packs all over their horse part, and a red bandana tied around their neck. And this centaur approaches you all, takes off their wide brim hat and says, "Well, howdy, y'all. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name's Colt. I'm a runner. Nice to see some friendly faces after all the trouble I've been through. How y'all doing today?"
Doing great. It's awesome to meet you.
Lovely sunny day.
Yeah, that's a good one, friend. Yeah, there's no lack of sun out here, I tell you what.
What's a runner?
Y'all don't know what I'm a runner.
You run.
I'm a messenger. The runners, sorry, I guess it's y'all ain't from round these parts, are you?
I point at the mountains that are still in view. Still in view, right? We're not that far.
Yeah, you turn to point at the mountains. Like, okay, let's see.
I point at my ears.
All right, well,
I keep walking.
yeah, yeah. No, that's fine. All right, well, I guess that answers my question. So I'm a runner. My job is to deliver messages for folks. Folks out here in the flatlands, away from the mountains or the forests, I assume. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't have a lot of ways to get information back and forth. So out here in the open spaces, in the desert, and the plains out there, they hire runners. So me and folks like me, centaurs mostly, we travel from town to town. People tell us messages, and we do our damnedest to get where they need to go. And hey, now, he says, looking at Rilla, you look damn familiar. I've had a message for a woman matching your description, and now that I see those ears, you might be the one. Some old elf lady gave me a message for you.
My aunt.
Are you Rilla Longshadow?
I am.
Girl, if I haven't had the hardest time trying to track you down, I thought you're supposed to be in some village out in the forest. Where have you been?
Around. Exploring. Looking for my aunt, mostly.
Well, I guess it's a good thing we finally crossed paths. Mm-hmm. I tell you what. Well, shucks, I'm sorry, I'm being rude here. I forgot to get everyone's names again. I'm Colt. I'm a runner. Pleasure to meet y'all. And what's your name, big burly fella holding that axe?
Hector.
Hector, it's a pleasure to meet you. You're from those mountains, I suspect, from the way you were pointing at them.
Yes.
Well, I'm plumb honored to meet you, sir. He holds out a hand, and he, lowers himself down a little bit to reach down to shake your hand.
I shake his hand, but, I try and go for the, my grip super firm kind of punk.
Oh, sure, yeah. No, you flex, and he's like, oh, it's a hell of a grip you got there. I'll tell you what.
Yes.
All right. And who are y'all? Where y'all headed? It seems like y'all got a nice little caravan going here.
Yes,
oh,
we
is
have
that?
our path.
All right. You know what? That's right. I'm a stranger. I'm coming at y'all. You don't know me. I don't know you. I understand your suspicions. Let me just lay a few things out. So I'm a runner, like I said. Y'all know nothing about us. We are pacifists. We have no allegiance to any faction. Carry no weapons. Do no harm. We are messengers. All right? We don't fight nobody, and don't nobody fight us. There ain't no profit in it. Don't carry no money. We just deliver messages for folk, return for safe passage. You know, it's so you carrying that axe. It's bad luck to kill a runner. Bet you didn't know that, did you? You don't want no bad luck now, do you? Come on now. Just your friend Colt. I'm getting you. I can see it.
I don't trust him.
All right, that's fine. You can roll a sense motive if you like.
I will roll a sense motive.
There's stats for things like this. I'm no
6.
Well, I mean, yeah, he seems like he's on the up and up. At this point, you hear Sebastian piping up from a little farther ahead. He gotten a little ahead of you folks. Like, who are you folks talking to? Oh, is that a horseman? Is that a runner? A runner all the way out here? Well, I'll be darned. And he rushes over. I am Sebastian Weaver, Bard Extraordinaire of the College of Everspring. And who might you be, good runner? Oh, well, hey there, little bard. How you doing? My name's Colt. Just talking to your friends here. I think I got a message for this lovely lady here with the pointy ears. Just trying to make sure everyone's cool. I think I took everyone by surprise a little bit. Oh, yes, well, my companions can be rather defensive of themselves and me and just everything in general. I think you've all been very weird since last night. Did something happen?
Nothing happened. We're fine.
Something happened.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Hector, you...
Okay, denial it is. We're fine.
Oh, all right. Well, good sir runner. What can we do for you? Oh, well, I just came across y'all. Look, I got a message for you, ma'am. But before I get to that, let me just say, he starts fanning himself with the brim of his hat. If y'all are heading north, y'all are going to find some trouble. It's not looking very good up there. I passed by a whole crowd of the craziest firebugs I done ever seen in my entire life. The village of Black Rock has seen better days. That's where y'all are headed, right? And Inga pipes up. Yes, the Black Rock was a normal stop of ours along this route. They have need of many of our wares and have some unique pieces for us to pick up. You say they're in trouble? Oh, yes, ma'am. It's looking bad. I saw a bunch of folks in black armor with a just trailing fire behind them, just descending on that town. I barely got out of their path before I, found you folks here. It's looking bad. If you're heading north, just be careful because you're heading for trouble.
We can handle ourselves.
I believe it. You seem like some real handy folks. I wouldn't want to get on your bad side. I guarantee you that. Rilla Long Shadow, right, of Greenleaf?
Yes.
The niece of Arafin of Greenleaf? All
yes.
right. So your auntie gave me a message to give to you. It's been so long. We got to keep everything in our heads, you understand? Hold on, let me see if I can remember.
Rilla's like almost shaking with excitement.
Sure.
Yeah.
What'd she say? You're the key to the tear in the veil. Don't go home. Your blood is the secret? I think your blood don't go. Yeah, I think, yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was the message. I met this lady in a very bad way. Let me tell you something. It's, I hope she's doing all right. But yeah, there's the message for you. Does that make any sense to you? Because I couldn't make heads or tails of it. I tell you what.
No, it's just another horribly ominous message. Keep getting those lately.
A lot of ill portents lately. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. That's something just, sometimes being a runner, you just run into that kind of thing. Run. Oh, come on, friends. Nothing? You're giving me the graveliest stare there, Hector. I'd hate to part ways enemies.
We're not enemies.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. You're my friend, too. I'm glad I met you, Hector. I like the cut of your jib. Anyways, I guess message delivered, so that work's done. I can't tell you what a relief that is. I don't suppose anybody had any messages they wanted to
What was
send?
wrong with my aunt, if you don't mind my asking, when you met her? And where was she? Do you remember?
Well, she was in the Badlands. I had to make a quick detour through there. Not my favorite place to go. It's real unpredictable. Scarred earth, wild magic. It's real bad there. Getting worse lately, now that I think about it. But, she was trying to cut through the space between the Badlands and the Springvale Forest, and just came across her. Seemed like she was doing some real important work there, going through some old ruins, but as soon as she saw me, flagged me down, made sure I memorized that message, as cryptic as it was. Normally it's just, hey, we're doing well, or come back home, but none. That's grim, I gotta tell you. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
But,
How much does a message cost?
For my good friend Hector, 1 gold piece.
Wonderful. I do have a message that I need delivered post haste.
Where to?
The other side of the gates.
What's, who to?
His name is Kent.
And what am I to tell Kent when I get to the other side of the gate, Hector?
Kent is manning the efforts to fix some recent damage done to the gates. I would like for you to tell him that I said hi. And I flip him a gold coin.
Ken's real top heavy, if that helps you notice him.
Yeah, any descriptors you could give me?
As I said, he'll be the one in charge of the excavation efforts.
Okay. All right.
He's a large, muscular man. Kind of a douche. Hard to miss.
Well, that should pin it down. Fantastic. Now,
Weirdly slim legs.
I'll skip leg day, did he? Some of us can't afford that, he says. He, clumps a couple of his hooves in the sand. That's just a little centaur joke for you. I gotcha. All right. Now, listen, I do want to make clear. For 1 gold piece, you can get a message as long as you want anywhere in the Isles. You want me to go to those mountains over there and tell Kent that Hector says hi.
Yep. That's the message.
That's a hoot. All right. That's a hoot and a half, brother. No problem. I got that for you.
You only just deliver messages, not things, right?
Well, depending on the customer, I could be persuaded, but most runners just deliver messages, kind of a Pony Express, if you will. Packages get to be a little tricky, what with the bandits and the thieves. If we're just carrying words, ain't nothing to take from us, know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's small things. It's just, I have some little trinkets for my sister. It would be nice to send them home. And I show him the small collection of things I've gotten so far.
Your souvenirs.
Yeah, my souvenirs. Because how amazing would it be to send Dara a centaur with presents?
You want to send? All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Well, your friend here's got me heading south. Where's your sister live?
Oh, she's obviously up in the Springvale Forest. It's fine. It's not a rush job, but you'll probably be able to get to her before me.
All right, I'll tell you what. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, those look like they're worthless. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no one's gonna steal those. Absolutely. No, that's great. Yeah, that's no problem. What's your sister's name?
Name's Dara.
And where specifically does Dara live?
Dara lives in the village of Greenleaf. And she's kind of a brat, but she looks a lot like me. Little sister.
All right, okay. Yeah, that sounds... Yeah, I can do that. 1 gold piece will get it done.
Cool, and just say hi from me. Still alive. In case she's worried.
It's an important message. I'll be sure to tell her.
Here's her trinkets. She ain't alive no more.
Anybody else? I am on the clock. If anybody else... Colt's here. Anybody... No? All right, well, I guess I'll be on my way. Like I said, keep an eye out if you're heading north. The Black Rocks, it looked like it was under siege. There's some real nasty firebugs, like I said, just trailing smoke behind them. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, all right. So Kent in the gate and Dara in Greenleaf, right?
Correct.
All right, well... He takes his hat, puts it over his heart. I solemnly swear by the strength of my haunches that your messages will reach their destinations. My name ain't Colt. He winks at you. And then he puts his hat on his head, and he rears up on 2 legs and flails his 2 forelegs. Yeehaw! And then he just fucking rides off. Up and over the nearest sand dune. Yeah. And Sebastian says, huh. Well, that was interesting.
Very.
Dara's gonna be so jealous.
Yes, I imagine she'll be absolutely miffed.
You shouldn't have given your trinkets to him.
Hector, what on earth has befallen you?
Nothing. Everything's fine. Rilla, can I talk to you? Sebastian, everything's fine.
Okay.
All right. Sebastian wanders off. By the way, Zerback's like a mile ahead now. Did not stop.
He's not stopping.
No, fantastic. What do you guys talk about?
What's up, Hector?
Oh, nothing. Just a portent of death arriving on horseback, and then literally the next day, a man who can never not be on horseback appears.
It's cool. He told me that my blood is the secret, so I'm obviously gonna be just fine.
Yes, that reassures me. Either way, it should take him a while to get through the gates, what with all the problems, and he is headed in the opposite direction of us with a stupid nonsense message.
It'll piss Kent off, though.
It will piss Kent off. That's lovely. I could have sent a message about the hidden ones, but I didn't.
He's going to describe Kent to himself. You know that, right? You're a Kent, right? Bit of a douche, top heavy, skipped leg day.
Now I hear tell you're a bit of a douchebag. Now that's none of my affair. I'm just Colt, the runner. All right, do you guys have anything else you want to hash out?
I'm just saying he's a half-horse man who arrived specifically to see you and talk about your blood.
You know, if I get killed by a cowboy centaur, it's not the worst way to go out. It's a story. Nothing else.
Stories? I'm sorry. Stories?
Everything's fine, Sebastian.
Okay, sorry.
I don't trust him either way.
I've been looking for any sign of my aunt since I left. It's why I was able to get away. He had a message.
Yes, very convenient that something on horseback has exactly the thing you're looking for. One day after getting a card that tells you that your fortune is that death arrives.
Those cards
on
really
the back
messed you up.
of a horse, They're nothing. My mom says that they're swindlers, and I don't believe it. It's fine. And I walk away. I keep to the back of the caravan for the rest of the day.
Better watch out for those 8 swords.
10.
10? Excuse me, 10.
There are 2 more than that coming my way.
And you know what? I love that. We're just gonna leave it at that. You guys have this tense convo. Hector goes back to the back of the caravan to sulk, and you, Rilla, have this new update. Well, relative update. This old information, the status of your aunt, and a message from her. Your blood is the secret. Don't go home.
I wrote it down.
Yeah. And that is where we will end it, with our party headed north through the blasted landscape of the raging sands towards the apparently besieged village of Blackrock. And as you top another steep sand dune, you see a column of smoke on the horizon mixing in with the swirling dust devils. That's where we'll end. Hello there, and welcome to another episode of As the Dice Turns, the podcast after the podcast, where we take a deep dive into our player characters' psychology, their emotions, anxieties, fears, and try to glean some inner truths from our protagonists. We are going to do things a little different today. This is the first of what will be a couple deep dives into a particular protagonist. Instead of asking all 3 of our heroes the same question and getting each of their respective answers, this time we are going to ask one of our heroes a question and really get into the nitty-gritty of their answer. Today, I'm just so fortunate. I'm so lucky to have Zura back in the studio. Zura, it's a pleasure to have you back. I see you've brought another thing into the studio. What do you have with you today, Zurabek?
Well, it was a box full of something, but he kind of got out.
Oh, goody. An empty box that no doubt once held some horrid abomination from the swamps you call home.
Yeah, you'll find him eventually, I'm sure.
I don't like the residue that is remaining in that box. It looks sinister and horrific.
Oh, that's just what he eats.
Okay, great. Excellent. Sharon, don't. I don't know the water's too deep now. I can't even see what's in here. It's. My studio's not a swamp.
I'm pretty sure it's a
My
swamp.
studio's not a swamp.
You're right. You need a tree.
Oh, great. I'll just hold out until you bring one of those in.
Maybe some vines.
Don't bring those in. Look, we're getting away from the point. Throwback, thank you for being here, blah, blah, blah. The question before you is, and this comes from a friend of the show, Spencer. Spencer, thank you very much for sending questions in. Just a reminder to all of our dear listeners out there, if you would like a question of yours read on the show, just send an email to challengerating0@gmail.com. That is all one word, challengerating, ZER, the letter O, @gmail.com. And if you have a question for any of our protagonists, you will be read on the air, as long as it's not, disgusting or pervy.
Even then.
Well,
I'll probably answer it.
We'll save those for you then, Zurabak, of course. It's ruinous. So, Zurabak, the question we have for you, asked by Spencer, friend of the show, is, have you had any animal companions before Snake? We are all, of course, familiar with your mighty reptilian friend, the glorious and venomous serpent known as Snake, a companion of yours from the swamps, but Spencer here would like to know if you had any sidekicks, any animals, any fauna that traveled around with you before you and Snake, before Snake bit you and you pulled him out of the swamp.
Yeah, I was sort of looking for him then. But, yeah, I had a little friendly baby crocodile named Bitey.
Bitey the baby crocodile. Well, that sounds like an adorable companion. And when did you all cross paths?
Oh, they gave him to me. Said it'd be good for me.
Oh, okay. So the druids that raised you at the Circle of the Serpent, they had bestowed upon you this Bitey.
Yep.
Interesting. And
He bit people. They didn't want him there anymore.
Understood. Which would make you the perfect companion since you don't want to be around people either.
Yep.
Was it a match made in the heavens? Did you two get along well?
No. He kept biting me.
Right. Yeah, as his name would imply, I'm sure that happens a lot. And oh, I am so terribly sorry that you were so often and viciously bitten by that animal. That must have been just awful.
I wasn't so bad.
I mean, great. That's great.
He just ate all my food.
Gotcha. Well, okay. So, Bitey the baby crocodile, given to you by the druids of the Circle of the Serpent. That sounds like a very irascible and angry and bitey little creature. Whatever happened to Bitey?
Snake ate him.
Wow. Snake ate him.
Yep.
So Snake just ate a baby crocodile that was already linked to you as your animal companion.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm guessing that wasn't that tragic? Wasn't that horrible for you? Didn't you mourn the passing of this tiny creature given into your care?
I've got more food now.
Sure. I guess the cost benefit.
Less bite wounds.
Right. Well, I mean, you still get the occasional snake bite.
Those are love bites.
Of course they are. Of course they are. Okay. So your current animal companion literally ate your last one.
Yep.
And there's nothing about that troubles you. I guess that's just the nature of the wilderness. Dog eat dog or snake eat gator, all of that.
That's how I knew he was the one.
You could say it's you could say it's love at first bite, huh? Right? Is there? Sharon thought it was funny. Sharon, right? Well, fine. I guess I'm not funny. Fine. That one's on me.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I mean that's asked and answered. So Zurabak the druid, you did have an animal companion before Snake, and it was a baby gator that Snake just gobbled up.
Little disappointing. I kind of wanted to eat him.
Well, I'm sure that would have some interesting ramifications for you and your station in the Circle of the Serpent. It's a good thing that Snake came along and
He was getting kind of fat.
Sure.
From eating all my food.
Right. Absolutely. Well, sharing is caring. I guess not. I guess it's not a philosophy that you subscribe to, particularly. Okay, well, Zurabak, it's always a pleasure to have you in the studio. You and the horrors. Oh my God, I just saw it. Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God. Oh my God, what is that? No, this isn't funny. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, that was frightening. Thank you so much for listening to As the Dice Turns, a podcast after the podcast. Oh my God.
He'll be back.
We're
He thinks you smell good.
okay. Sharon and I thank you, and please pray for me, please. Hey there, folks. It's Sam, your Dungeon Master, with a couple notes here at the end of the show. First off, I'd like to apologize for our shoddy release schedule. All of the members of this show's cast are dealing with some personal issues, myself included, and that has impacted our ability to get these out every other week as we originally intended. Please know that even though sometimes we may drop the ball with getting these episodes out on time, we are committed to generating that content that you crave. So know that even if there is a delay between episodes, there will always be another episode. We are too in love with you, our listeners, and honestly too fanatical about Dungeons and Dragons to ever stop making the show. Thank you so much for sticking in there with us. I know it's a pain, but we certainly appreciate you coming back around to give us a listen. Got a couple notes here at the end of the show. As always, we would like to thank the Harp Wolf, Danielle Taylor Williams, for her amazing music, including the theme song to our show. You can find more of her work at danielletaylorharp.bandcamp.com. She's got an amazing album out called Why Are We Surprised When Seasons Change? You can find that at danielletaylorharp.bandcamp.com. Want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at the Blinders Off podcast, another amazing local St. Louis show, the makers of which host a intro to podcasting class. You can go to blindersoff.show to get more information on that, or go to the Blinders Off Facebook page if you would like to take one of their intro to podcasting classes where I myself learned to make a podcast. You can save some Skrilla on your ticket by using the coupon code CAST. That is the coupon code CAST if you go to Eventbrite to buy your tickets for the Blinders Off podcast intro to podcasting class. I would also like to give a shout out to Apotheosis Comics on South Grand, where Brian and myself are hosting some public events. Every third Friday of the month, Brian and myself host an event called Drinks and Dragons, where we pair a beer made by the great people at Four Hands with a custom written one shot that Brian and I create, and we open it up to the public for folks to buy tickets. Come in, you get some beers, you get to play in a little session run by Brian and myself. If you'd like to come see Brian or me in person and be subjected to our, whims as dungeon masters for a self-contained one-shot paired with delicious beer, feel free to come by. The next Drinks and Dragons event is on March 20th. That is Friday, March 20th at Apotheosis Comics on South Grand, if you'd like to come out and see us. Let's see. You can find us on Facebook. We've got a Challenge Rating Zero Facebook page. We post updates, memes, and all that stuff. We've got an Instagram. You can find us at Challenge Rating Zero on Instagram. We've got a Twitter, Challenge_0. And if you'd like to send in any As the Dice Turns questions, you can email those to challengerating0, that's ZER, the letter O, at gmail.com. CHALLENGERATINGZERO, challengerating0 at gmail.com. Thanks a lot for listening to the show, y'all. It's a joy to make, a joy to publish, and we hope that you will hang in there with us. We're figuring this out in real time. So we appreciate your patience, we appreciate your patronage, and we will see you next time. Thanks.